The battlefield roared, a symphony of clashing steel and desperate cries. But amidst the chaos of thousands, one jewel held the fate of a kingdom. There stood King David, his hair silvered by time, his face a roadmap of countless campaigns. The legendary giant slayer, the poet king, was now an old man. Before him loomed a new nightmare, a Philistine giant named Ishbi-Benob. This wasn't Goliath. This was a monster clad in bronze, wielding a spear so heavy it seemed to defy physics. David, driven by the warrior's fire that never truly dies, had charged into the fray. He met the giant's advance, his own sword a familiar weight in his hand. But the years had taken their toll. His movements, once a blur of deadly grace, were now slower, more deliberate. The strength that had once felled a lion and a bear was fading. He parried a crushing blow from the giant's spear, the impact jarring him to the bone. He felt his energy drain, a cold weariness seeping into his limbs. The giant saw it, a cruel smile twisting his lips. He pressed his advantage, his attacks becoming a relentless storm of bronze and iron. David stumbled, his shield barely deflecting a strike that would have shattered a lesser man. He was gasping for breath, his vision blurring from the dust and sweat. The giant raised his massive spear for the final, killing blow. Time seemed to slow. This was it. The end of the shepherd boy who became king. The light of Israel was about to be extinguished on a dusty, blood-soaked field. But then a shout cut through the din, a blur of motion. It was Abishai, one of David's most loyal and ferocious commanders, his face a mask of fury. He had seen his king's peril. He didn't hesitate. He threw himself between David and the descending spear, his own shield taking the brunt of the cataclysmic impact. The sound was like thunder cracking, the force sending Abishai staggering back, but he held. He held the line. With a roar of pure rage, Abishai drove his own spear deep into the giant's side. The monster bellowed, not in triumph, but in agony and disbelief. He faltered, his immense weapon falling from his grasp. In that moment, Abishai struck again, a decisive blow that ended the threat forever. The giant crashed to the earth, shaking the very ground. Silence fell around them, a pocket of stillness in the raging battle. Abishai helped his king to his feet, their eyes meeting in a moment of profound understanding. The other warriors, David's mighty men, saw what had happened. They formed a protective wall around their king, their faces grim and determined. They had almost lost him. That day they made a solemn vow. Their beloved king, their lamp, would no longer go into battle. His fight was over. Now it was their turn to be his shield, his sword, his strength. They would fight for him, protecting the legacy he had built with his own blood, sweat, and faith. David, leaning on Abishai, watched his men surge forward, a tide of loyalty and love, securing the victory. His time as a warrior on the front lines was finished, but the kingdom he had forged would live on, protected by the very men he had inspired. His greatest strength was no longer in his own arm, but in the hearts of those who followed him. If you were captivated by this story of loyalty and the final battles of a legend, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We bring the ancient world to life with more epic tales just like this one. Thanks for watching.